Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me here today. So the last few readings that I've done have been a little bit more serious, reflective, what's going on in the new year. The most recent reading I did was like what's next in love. But we're going to go back to the drawing board, one of my most popular topics on this channel, and it's going to be why are men so drawn to you? Why are men / your person, if you want to watch for a specific person, okay? So keep that in mind. So drawn to you, what's your sex appeal? Is the energy coming through, or what we're going to be getting into? Okay, so let's get into the reading. Please spirit tap me to the energy of my group ones. I swear this rash keeps getting worse and worse. It's so annoying. Maybe you guys could have skin problems because I just zoned in on that. Okay, I'm hearing alopecia. That could be something coming through. Some of you could have a hard time growing your hair. You lose hair very quickly. And that could be something that's very appealing to men, especially if you just wear your hair bald or shorter than most women or men, okay? Or I guess the opposite would be for the men. You wear your hair longer than women or most men. Jesus, okay. Please. Okay, so please, Spirit, why are men or their person so drawn to my group ones? Please, Spirit. What's their sex appeal? Let's see. These readings are always so fun. I'm excited to see what comes out. Come on, give us all the tea. Okay, these are way too many cards, please. I'm excited, not that excited, okay? And a few fell back out. That's funny. Okay, we'll take those. So we have the Ace of Wands, we have the King of Swords, and then we have the Page of Swords. So both these swords cards came out in reverse. So maybe you're definitely no talk, more action, or less talk, more action. So you're definitely someone who does instead of says they're going to do. You're not about that talk, no long talk, essentially. You're more about doing, and action-based, okay? So that's something that's very sexy and attractive about you. Because the one card that we did have that came out upright is the Ace of Wands, okay? Which is all about action. It's wanting something and going after it. It's having an idea and pursuing the idea, immediately hopping on it, jumping on it. So you could definitely be someone who's very active, okay? Or you're very creative at the very least, okay? So there's something here about maybe being artistically or creatively inclined where whether it comes to you're good at singing, at dancing, at music, coming up with choreography, painting, writing books, there's something here about where you're just good at that, or dressing is what I'm hearing as well. You have like a magic wand when it comes to certain things. And that, I guess specifically, I'm hearing in the sectors that men find attractive. So what do men even find attractive? I don't even freaking know. I'm not a guy. Physically, maybe we have like a lot of like the physical features that men seem to like look for. Maybe bigger chest, bigger body, not body, bottom. Big body, yeah, let me stop. Don't get me started, okay? You could definitely be someone who's thick or curvaceous, okay? Or you just have a nice body, a nice build, you know what I mean? Because men find all sorts of things attractive. Sometimes they like skinny people. Sometimes they like people who are a little thick. Sometimes they like bigger people. It doesn't matter. There's something here about the way you're either shaped or the way you wear. Your body is a crazy thing to say. The way you wear your body, who says that? The clothes, the way you dress yourself, okay? There we go. The way you dress yourself, the way you put clothes on your body, okay? The way they fit, the way the colors match your skin, the way you coordinate. Something is like giving fashionista energy for whatever reason, because immediately when they're seeing you, they're kind of attracted to you. So whatever it is about, whatever it said is about you, no, I said art the first time. Whatever it is about you that makes them like stand at attention immediately is what's coming through here. But like I said, it's because you're more about showing instead of saying you're gonna do something, right? So you follow through, essentially. Okay, so your sex appeal is definitely more physically based when it comes to your person or men. It's just like they find you very attractive. Okay, you could definitely be someone who's soft, like literally your body is like more soft, okay? Or you're just someone whose energy is soft, because when I think of the King of Swords, I think of someone who's like more hard, more harsh, more judgmental. The fact that it wants to come out in reverse, because I keep hearing that, so we're going to put them in reverse. The fact that it keeps coming out in reverse, it means there's something here about you being a little bit more soft around the edges. You're not someone who's mean. You don't say mean things to hurt people's feelings. Like, I'm getting a vibe of you being very friendly. You're good with people. You're charismatic is the kind of energy coming through. That's your sex appeal. You get along with lots of people. The King of Swords can be quite polarizing. He's more my way or the highway. He's more I don't care what you want or what you think kind of energy. You know what I mean? He's like giving like a judge, where when you're in my court, my rules apply. Okay, I lay down the law kind of energy. You could definitely be someone who's more easygoing, who's more light, who's more funny, right? You're smart, but you're not using it to make people feel inferior is what I'm kind of getting here. You're someone who's well-read, well-practiced. You're someone who may have like PhDs or master degrees, bachelor's degrees, associate's degrees, that kind of thing. You have lots of degrees, but you're not someone who uses it, or you don't come off as I think I'm better than you or smarter than you kind of energy. You're not always trying to assert your smartness over people the way other people do, you know? Sometimes scholars only focus on wanting to be scholars and wanting to hear themselves talk and be the smartest person in the room. I do believe your energy speaks before your mouth does, if that makes any sense. So your energy speaks before your words do, essentially. So you're definitely someone who could be like, you don't talk a lot, or you're more quiet, or like I said, you like to show people instead of telling them kind of energy. I can show you better than I can tell you is the kind of vibe coming through here for you guys right off the bat. Let's keep going. And you know what? You know what I just heard? You're someone who stays is kind of what I'm getting as well. Because when I think of, I was thinking how the swords are air sign energy, and air signs energies are somewhat flighty and hard to get close to emotionally. There's nothing that grounds them because they're airy and windy, or they're an air sign. So they're always like gone with the wind kind of energy. They don't really stay anywhere that long. You know what I mean? But as opposed to maybe a water sign who can get attached too quickly, an earth sign who once they're attached, there's no letting up, right? And fire signs who kind of, you know, they're going to stick around for a little bit. They're not going to like, you know, they're not for a long time, but for a good time kind of energy. Air signs are the ones that are hard to pin down, literally, because there's nothing you can touch when it comes to them. You know, air is just air. Fire, you can touch it, it'll burn you, right? Earth, you can touch it and feel it, it'll ground you. Water, you can touch it and feel it, it'll make you feel safe and it'll make you feel, you know, calm. But air, you can't touch it, it touches you, if anything, right? So you're definitely someone who could stay, right? Or you could be someone who, if it comes to a, how can I describe it? If you're watching for a specific person, this person likes that you stay for them. You know, where other people may have had a hard time holding you down or pinning you down, you stay with this person. They don't have to force you to stay kind of energy. You know what I mean? Okay. There's something here about you not asserting your dominance over them. This could be like intellectual dominance or physical dominance, something like that, but you don't assert it over this person if you're watching for someone specific, okay? So let's keep going. Please, Spirit, can you keep tapping me into the energy of my group ones? Why are men so drawn to them? What's their sex appeal? So you're soft, you're friendly. I'm getting a little bit of a cutesy vibe from you guys. You know what you're giving me? I love that I watched this video because now I can kind of use these archetypes to help you better understand. Okay, so like I was saying in another reading, I was watching a video where this lady was breaking down the 7 archetypes of women that women have or that women embody, or versus the 7 archetypes that men embody. Okay, so for you guys, I'm getting more of like a lover maiden kind of energy. And basically the maiden is more of a soft, optimistic, what could go wrong whenever you're around them, what attracts men to them. Basically, I think the maiden is Persephone energy. So soft, innocent, inexperienced. Like you still look at life with rose-colored glasses on. Every challenge can be overcome. It's kind of like nothing can go wrong. And when people are around that energy, it's very inspiring. You know, it's very sweet. It's very optimistic and hopeful. And nothing could go wrong with this person around. If there's something that needs to be solved, you're solving it. You're not really letting life get you down, right? And some prime examples that she likes to use in the what do you want to call it, the videos, is Emily in Paris. Emily from Emily in Paris is a great embodiment of the maiden, and so is Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. And how one of the examples that I'm remembering here is she was very intelligent but in a different way, right? She was very aesthetically pleasing. In the movie, they made her seem like her boobs were large, when in hindsight, I don't think they really are that big, but whatever, you know what I mean? But she was like very fashion forward. She was very aesthetically pleasing. She wasn't someone you would look at and say, oh my gosh, that person is so smart. You know what I mean? Even though she was mainly just looks and beauty, she was also brains, which she showed us in the movie, right? When she won the case, you know what I mean? When she was able to keep up and par or spar is the word I'm looking for, with her people in class, kind of thing, when she would make her point. And it's kind of like, oh, damn, you really do have some brains in there somewhere. But there was an example that I was getting where the girl was like, instead of being mean to Warren's girlfriend or fiance, whatever, she ended up being nice to her, and she didn't kind of like fight fire with fire. The girl was mean to her, was always calling her stupid, dumb, whatever. And instead of Elle going down to her level, Elle stayed nice to her, stayed cordial with her, didn't really take the bait, essentially. And that's how they became friends. I think her name was like Vivian or something, or like Gwen, I don't remember, child. But it's kind of giving that energy where instead of you just thinking that everybody's evil and mean and looking at the world like, oh my gosh, it's kind of like, okay, everyone is nice, everyone deserves to be treated fairly, and when they go low, I'm gonna go high kind of energy, you know what I mean? And that's the kind of energy you're coming through as infectious, like Elle Woods or Emily in Paris, if you guys have seen either of those shows. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm getting. You're getting like maiden and lover to me, and maiden is Persephone and the lover is more Aphrodite like. So those two archetypes are coming through for you guys. You can look more into them, or you probably already know that's your archetype and you resonate with that. Okay, the lover is definitely more so fall in love very quickly, like very much in their head, in the clouds, more so love focus, attention focus, male gaze focus. That could be something as well. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for you guys. And both those energies are kind of similar, is why I feel like both of them are coming through. So it's giving you're a lover, not a fighter, right? You go after what you want. Like I said, action-based, creative-based. Whatever you do stands out. You could wear all pink, or pink is one of your favorite colors. Like that kind of thing. You're more so to like, you're more inclined to make friends than make enemies is kind of what I'm getting as well. And that's your sex appeal. It's kind of like wherever you go, you make friends. Here you have 9 of Cups. Yeah, you have a tendency to get whatever you want, and men find that very attractive, especially when it comes to them, right? I love that this card in particular came out, because this card, when I was doing like an 18+ reading on the channel, he gave me someone who's like very well pleased with himself. Like, oh yeah, you know, it's giving you know how to stroke their ego or other things on them. If you know, if we're kind of playing into your sex appeal, you know how to stroke certain things on them to make them feel good about themselves, make them feel high. You know what I mean? Because this old guy needs to move. He looks so smug. Like, yeah, I'm getting whatever I want kind of energy. Maybe you're a little bit of a people pleaser. Could be an energy as well. Or you like to make people feel comfortable, which is people pleasing in a way, okay? I wish I remember more about the lover archetype, but I feel like you guys are more so giving me the maiden, right? And there's something like so pure and innocent and sweet that you kind of want to corrupt the maiden in a kind of way. So that could be an energy coming through for you guys as well, where they kind of want to, you know, muss you up a little bit. They want to see how dirty, please, I can't. See how dirty you can get, like, because you come off as too sweet and oblivious sometimes. They're kind of like, nah, I want to see if there's like a darker side to you, right? And there's a reason why Hades wanted to swipe her up and said, nah, you come and be with me, sis, in the underworld. And that's why she was always so sad down there, because it's all about death and darkness, and there's no life under there. That's what she needs to thrive, the maiden, Persephone. And that's literally what she was. She was the harvest. That's what Persephone is. She's the maiden, which is why she sometimes represents Virgos. Some of you could be Virgos coming through here. But it's funny because I was mentioning you guys as being like earth signs, right? You're the opposite of what the air signs do. You don't run away and you're not flighty. You're grounded and you nurture and make people feel safe and make them feel included is the kind of energy coming through. Like, you're not going to leave them. You're always going to be there for them is the kind of energy coming through. But yeah, that's why Hades wanted her, because she was someone who was so beautiful and she was so light and she was so free. And whereas he destroyed and killed, she grew and made things thrive. You know what I mean? Opposite attract kind of energy. So you could attract some dark user kind of people. I'm getting like patriarchy kind of people, you know, where they think their needs go above yours and you kind of like I said, stroke their ego in that kind of way, you know? Let's see what else comes through. Whether you purposely want to do it or not, there's something about you that makes men feel special is what I'm getting. But then the more, basically, it's giving they are attracted to you because of your looks, but they like stay and they're very much intrigued when they realize you're more than just your looks, right? So I'm not trying to say that you're just ditzy and giggly, because if you know Emily in Paris and you know Elle Woods, they're both very intelligent and good at getting what they want. They're good at making friends, adapting to their environment, that kind of energy. Instead of looking at things and I go, oh my gosh, what could go wrong kind of energy, they're more so what could go right, you know? Like I said, optimistic. You guys could also be Sagittarius. I'm getting that vibe as well because optimism keeps coming through. And Jupiter, you grow things is what I'm getting as well. But yeah, you make friends wherever you go is what I'm getting. We have Justice in reverse. Yeah, there's something here about you not being so like prim and proper and everything has to be just so. You're living life to the beat of your own drum, right? There's also like a little girl from a movie on Netflix. It's called Vivo. I think Lin-Manuel Miranda either wrote the movie or he did the music for the movie or both, whatever. But there's a little girl in the movie who just doesn't want to be with people. She likes to be by herself. She likes to bounce to the beat of her own drum, which is a song in the movie. And you guys are giving me her. You know what I mean? Whenever her friend needs help, she's running to help her friend. She ended up meeting Vivo, which is the monkey in the movie, who the movie's about, essentially. And instead of like telling him to go away or whatever, she was lonely, right? But she didn't want to follow the crowd. She wanted to, you know, make her own path, carve her own way. So when she met Vivo and he told her his story, she was like, oh, sure, I'll help you. And then she like just threw everything away or stopped her life to help Vivo get this song to the love of his owner's life, okay? So it's something here about that you're always willing to help people, that kind of thing. Why would you do that? Let's see what else comes through for you guys. Please spare it for my group ones. What is their sex appeal? Yeah, there's something here about you having a tight grip. Like I said, stroking their ego, because that's literally what this card would be giving, right? If you were doing 18 plus, right? And the Justice card in reverse is something here about catching them off kilter is kind of what I'm getting. Catching them off kilter. And that's what I was saying with your wit, with your knowledge, with your smarts. You catch them off guard. Because they're just looking at you as like a piece of meat. Sorry to put it that way, but that's what I'm getting. And then when you show them that you're someone who's smart and intellectual and caring, you know, and kind, they're kind of like, oh, there's more to you than meets the eye. Because it's giving me that scene in Legally Blonde where the dirty, nasty professor teacher was kind of like, oh, you want to get a good grade, huh? Oh, I know what you could do for me. And he was trying to come on to her. And Ella was like, yuck. Elle was like, if you don't get out of here, she ran out of that office and into the guy that she ends up, you know, being with in the movie. But she was like, yuck, I am not a piece of meat. Like, it's giving Jasmine a little bit. Like, I am not a piece of meat. I'm not a prize to be won. I'm my own woman. I'm powerful. I'm strong. And I'm like, I can do whatever I want. The world is my oyster kind of energy. And there's something about it that makes them like, I don't know, piques their interest. Maybe because you like ignite the chaser or predator in them. Because you're telling them no and all they want you is to tell them yes. You know what I mean? Very ghetto. I can't. But that's what I'm getting. You kind of knock them off kilter and catch them off guard with the Justice card in reverse for whatever that may mean. But from what we've been saying here is based on how you portray yourself physically, people don't think you have like, or not even don't think, they're not expecting you to be someone who's very smart and intellectual, which is why we have the King of Swords with the Page of Swords in reverse. Your curiosity, your, like I said, devil may care kind of energy is like unexpected to them. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. Here we have Two of Pentacles, and then we have the Five of Swords. Yeah, so you guys are giving me a little bit like witty, bantery, don't take no for an answer. If someone says you can't do it, you're going to prove to them that you can. You could be a little bit competitive as well. But sassy is the vibe coming through because the Five of Swords always gives me the energy of like saying mean things to people, right? Or like challenging them, right? You could challenge men in like, I guess, personality wise or energy wise, where men think they're supposed to be the dominant one and have the most energy and be the most charismatic person in the room. And then they kind of meet you and they're kind of like, who's this person stealing all my shine? And they come and see you and they're kind of like, oh, I've met my match. Is the energy coming through as well? Okay. And it makes sense because you're coming through as a lover, Aphrodite, where men see you as like, oh, I remember now. Some example she was using for the lover in the video was, is her name Samantha from Sex in the City or And the City? And how she was mostly just seen as someone who's like a garment on a man's arm. And they were looking at her as like for her physicality instead of her mind, right? And then another person was Marilyn Monroe in some movie. I don't know if it's a movie with her and some other lady, Charles, back in the days, obviously, because Marilyn is not from this time period. She's from back in the days, okay? But basically, the lover knows how to use men to get what they want, right? They're very smart and they're very calculated, but no one will think that because they use their looks to get along. It's the kind of vibe coming through. You know how to manipulate men. Oh, you're already looking at me for my body. I'll use it to get what I want, right? That's the kind of vibe coming through here for you guys. That's your sex appeal, your body, your looks, and your charisma, your energy, and the way you know how to, I guess, schmooze a room. You know what I mean? But I am hearing like infectious, like, because now I'm thinking of Emily in Paris and how she's always really good at like connecting with people. That's one of her superpowers in the show, because she's supposed to be like in marketing. She's supposed to be in like luxury marketing and getting regular people like you and me to buy luxury items. And the ideas she comes up with are relatable. They're also very spunky. They're also very original. And that's kind of like where the creative part of you comes from, the Ace of Wands. The things you come up with, the things you say. Like how even in Legally Blonde, the way Elle won the case. No one would have thought that she was able to win the case based on a perm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to remember the word she used, flocculite. And she was like, huh, so you were in the shower, you say? If you were really in the shower and you just got a perm the other day, your hair would not be so bouncy and curly right now because the sodium flocculate would have been deactivated in your hair or whatever the heck else said. She told them, right? And she ended up winning the case in her own way, using her smarts and what she learned in law school versus her girly little ways. You know what I mean? Okay, so yeah. I do believe you're good with your words. You're good to use your words to hurt people or to trick people into getting what you want, okay? At the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups. I'm hearing manipulating emotions to get your way. That's something that's also coming through. Okay. So your sex appeal, you could have nice legs. I'm getting calves and your feet in particular. That's something that I'm being drawn to. Like I said, your hands and the way it wraps around certain body parts. Okay. Your eyes are coming through as well. You have an aura to you. You know how some people just have aura? You have aura. That's your thing. Like I said, your aura steps into the room before you do. You know, it's kind of like BD energy for women, you know? Yeah, that's what's coming through for y'all. But there's something here about you know how to choke their ego and make them feel important or make them feel happy. But the Two of Pentacles here, it's just trying to find, it's like giving me a battle of wills in a way. You know what I mean? So it is kind of giving me that banter, that back and forth, that 1 minute you're submitting, the next minute you're like dominating kind of energy. 1 minute you're dominating the conversation. They're kind of like, oh, wait, I'm taking it back. And then the next minute you're letting them lead. It's kind of like a tug of war vibes. What's like your sex appeal? Because sometimes you're giving them power and then sometimes you're taking it away. And they're kind of like, wait, hold up now. Let me catch my break, you know? But yeah, go back and forth, banter, witty is what's coming through as well. That's your sex appeal. Making people feel important is also one of your superpowers when it comes to like why are men drawn to you? It's kind of like why women are like drawn to powerful men, because there's just something about them to draw. That's you, you're a powerful woman. Or you could be a powerful man too. It just depends. Some of you could have a little bit of a tummy and that's coming through. And that's something that they like as well. Like fondling it. Please. I can't. Okay, we have more cards to pull from. Why am I getting distracted? Let's keep going. For my group ones, please spare my group ones. Why are men so drawn to them? What's their sex appeal? We have give to the mind and it gives back to your mind. Absolutely. It says inspiration, mood, and cycle. So I think just being around you boosts the mood. And as we can see, there's like a very particular set of assets that are coming through in this card here. So your chest is very prominent and your brain, okay? Yeah, your hair as well when it gets, I'm hearing crazy. Good day, and I said good day. Like when your hair's a little messy, they like that. But yes, I can see there's two, you know, things coming through in the card there. So your mind, they're drawn to you for your mind. And that does also kind of tie into what your mind comes up with. So your creativity as well. And I was getting that you guys have like lots of like degrees, or you're just very intelligent and you can kind of like go blow for with them, you know? So they think, oh, I'm the smartest person in the room, and they kind of meet you and they're kind of like, wait, I might have met my match. So it's giving like HB, head B in charge meets the BDE kind of guy, right? Those are the kind of people you tend to attract. And those people do tend to have big egos, so, or big other things. Okay, anywho, you can let go now, surrender to what is, acceptance, letting go, water, non-resistance. You're kind of getting like Disney princess vibes, okay? Jasmine did come through for you guys. That could be a princess you resonate with. I would also say Mulan a little bit, Merida as well. Getting a little bit of Bella and then Tiana. Those are the princesses coming through for you guys, okay? But it's kind of like this whole letting go, water, non-resistance. You can let go now, surrender to what is. Like, I don't think you give up is the energy coming through here, because that's kind of what I was getting when I read the card. I'm like, no. From what I've been getting so far, you're not the kind of person to give up, but you know when you're not going to win. You know when to fold them, you know? You'll find another way. You're not giving up, but you're realizing that there's nowhere else for you to, like, how can I describe it? It's kind of like when a cup is empty, there's no more water that you can really exhume from the cup. It's over. But what you can do is find another cup or get some water to fill the cup back up, kind of energy, you know what I mean? That's the kind of what I'm getting from you guys. Like, you know how to accept things, but it's not going to, like, what is it called? Dim your fire, dim your light. You're not going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't go there. It's kind of like, you know how there's a bunch of different ways to get to one location, right? So if you go to one location or one highway or whatever, and this highway is kind of like, we're closed for renovation or construction, you're not going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't get to my location, I'm going to go home and give up. No, what you're going to do is find another way to get there. You know what I mean? So you can accept when things are not going to go your way and find another route is the vibe that's coming through. Strategically, of course. Anything else coming through for my group ones, please? Spirit, what is their sex appeal? You do have nice hair because it's coming through again. Look how they're kind of fixing it. So you could be prone to have like messy hair. Also, I think everyone in this deck has colored hair, but colored hair could be coming through as well. My group ones, please, Spirit, what is their sex appeal? Why are men so drawn to them? Or their person so drawn to them? There's an energy of feeling defeated. This Five of Swords, the way the guy is just sitting there like, oh, I've been bested, I've been defeated. It's kind of like there's nothing I can do. I've met my match kind of energy that just keeps coming through. Because the way he's sitting there like, oh man, I thought I had her and you really didn't, you know? It's kind of giving me, what is it, like Queen's Gambit or something? I think it was a show on Netflix. Never watched it, but I heard it was really good. It's the girl who was really good at like playing chess. And that's supposed to be like a guy's game, mostly nerdy boys, you know what I mean? No tea, no shade to them, just using the word that is used for them. You know, usually people who are smart, I guess you can say, only play chess, and that's seen as men most of the time. I don't know why, but that's coming through, and how they're like, they predominantly rule sports, not sports, that too, honestly, that makes sense, but chess. And then when you see like one or two women in the field, you're kind of like, what? A woman in the field? And even if she is in the field, you don't think she's going to beat you. But I do believe her thing was she was the best for a long time and undefeated, right? So it's kind of giving that these men are like feel defeated when they're with you, because it's either hard to get close to you or it's hard to win against you. If they do try to challenge you, they always end up being the loser. It's kind of giving me happy wife, happy life kind of thing, where you think that making a woman upset is gonna get you what you want, when at the end of the day, you're always gonna need something from her. She can birth babies, she can birth ideas, she can nurture, she can take care of, she can grow, like, and what can you do? Okay, please don't get me started. But anywho, here we have eternal center, guru, protection, and peace. It says there is peace, or there's a place within you, still, calm, steady, eternal. It is definitely giving like you're their peace in a kind of way. If they have to go out to the rest of the world and fight, you know, to feel seen, fight to feel like important, and they just come home to you and you always make them feel wanted and important, safe, at peace, then it's going to be something they look forward to. And they kind of look forward to you. Aw. You could also kind of be like you give off like spiritual advisor vibes. Let's get this deck here and see what comes through for you guys. If you have growing hands, for sure. Okay, what's coming through for you guys? Here we have St. John's wort and marigold. Against your will, there will not be. No entrance, no welcoming, be gone. Look at that, against your will. That's what I was saying with the Five of Swords. They're sitting there defeated because they tried to go up against you and they lost, okay? It's giving how, what's that boy name from Legally Blonde, Warren? He thought that leaving her and embarrassing her in front of a party and breaking up with her and marrying someone who was more like old money kind of energy would break her will. And she was like, oh no, I'm already here at law school. I came here for you, but I'm staying for myself, okay? I'm staying to prove you wrong, okay? And she did. And then at the end of the movie, wanted to come running back to her saying, oh, I want you back, I'm sorry. And she was like, get out. Like, whatever, major loser. Like, don't get out of my face. She was like, ain't nobody still here for you, boy. I was just here to prove to you that I was smarter than you took me for. Don't play with me. Once I lock in, my boy. And he was embarrassed, very, very much so. But she ended up finding the guy that was better suited for her, which was like amazing. Period. We love that for you, Elle. But yeah, it says against your will, there will not be. So if you don't want it to happen, it's not going to happen. If you don't want them to win, they're not going to win. That kind of energy. So you can be so a little bit stubborn, or you're always winning at arguments, or you're always right. That kind of thing. You know, like I said, Virgo was coming through before. It's coming through again, okay? Whatever you touch grows, because we have this huge like marigold behind him, and it's kind of like whatever you touch grows. So like I said, Persephone, Maiden, Aphrodite, the lover, that kind of thing is coming through quite strong. And then also the Maiden is associated with Virgo, okay? Aphrodite is also associated with Taurus and Libra kind of came through with justice here. Yeah, but I do believe you use your Venusian qualities in an unconventional way. So you're attractive, but then you also have brains, and you use that in your favor. Okay, what else is coming through? Here we have the autumn equinox. Nothing is whole without the acceptance and acknowledgement of all. And didn't we have acceptance coming through as well? We have acceptance coming through right here. And then we have this card. Don't piss me off. Sit down. And then we have this card here with two people holding hands, and it says nothing is whole without the acceptance and acknowledgement of all. This is beautiful. Yeah, it's kind of like either you're a perfect juxtaposition to this person or you're a perfect foil. It's like yin and yang vibes. This is beautiful. I'm getting lost in the picture of it all. Sorry. But look at how by holding his hand, he's able to like grow all these flowers all over him. It's kind of giving me how some women or men say you can't live with them, can't live without them, about the opposite sex. Is kind of energy coming through. That's funny. Then here we have Harvest Moon. It says, slow your heart and move gently in the coming of self. Yeah. So you're very self-assured. And it's not something you have to kind of shout from the rooftop. It's just something that people can feel and see. Your power doesn't have to be boasted about or talked about. It's something that's felt. Okay, and then here we have Campfire, your warmth as well. Do not fear opening your mouth and allowing your tongue to speak. You do speak up. You definitely do. But like I said, you're not doing it in a way to make people feel small or dumb. You're doing it in a way to educate. You're doing it in a way to make them feel powerful. The way Elle went to that salon that one day, and she taught the ladies to bend and snap, and she helped the lady get her mailman, right? And then I think she also, in one scene, she kind of like has like a giggling party or fest with the girl that Warren left her for. And she's kind of like, oh, and you remember when he does this? And they kind of like have a bonding moment over the dumb stuff that he does. And she's kind of like, at this point, I'm kind of sick of his behind too. Like, I don't know how you was with him for so long. She was like, does he still do this? And the girl was like, yes. And they were kind of like having a girl session over it. So instead of it being something about competition or bringing people apart, you kind of bring people together in a way. It's the kind of vibe that's coming through. Or make them feel whole as well. How beautiful. I love this for you. Campfire is also kind of giving like community vibes as well. But yeah, when you speak, people could listen. And they come together and they feel re-energized. It's kind of vibe coming through. It's definitely giving you mind your business, child. That's something as well. You mind your business. And you don't care what people think about you. Which I think is very important. Especially when it comes to how they view you or what they like about you, that you don't really care what people think. You live life free. Okay, that's what I have for you guys, though. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. I'm just looking at how this guy here looks so at peace, holding this apple. It's kind of like, thank you for giving me this apple. And apples it's reminding me of how, what is it called? Adam and Eve bit the forbidden apple. And it was supposed to be the apple of knowledge that gave them, all this knowledge of things that they didn't really know before. It's definitely giving that you give them knowledge. That's coming through for sure here. And the way his eyes are closed, he's kind of like savoring it. Yeah. Okay. But now I'm going to leave you reading there. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always do so. Use my email in the description box below. Please hype the video if you feel called to do so. I do also offer memberships on the channel as well if you're interested in that. You can join using the link in the description box right above the timestamps. It'll always be there for your viewing pleasure. You can request certain things. That's for you kind of have free reign on the channel. You ask for what you want. You get more exclusive things, that kind of energy. If you're interested to join, would love to have you. If you want to book a reading with me, you could always do that using my email in the description box below. But I do hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. As always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 2s. Welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me here today. So I want to get back into like a cute little fun kind of groove into the reading, because the last few readings I did were kind of more serious and what do I have to do tone and what lessons did I learn kind of energy. And we're bringing it back to why are men drawn to you / what is your sex appeal? Okay, if you want to watch this for a specific person, be my guest. Why is he or she drawn to you? Okay, what they consider your sex appeal, whatever. Okay, I don't make the rules. There are no rules. Do whatever you want. Okay, now because I said that, I do feel like a part of your sex appeal is that you don't follow the rules or you don't have any rules and you do whatever you want. Because funnily enough, like right when I was shuffling before I started your reading, the death card flew out. And then I was shuffling the cards and a card literally like flew out all the way here and got stuck underneath another tarot deck. How can I even do it properly? It like fell under the card just like that, and just a little bit was sticking out. I'm like, what kind of sorcery is this? So you guys can be given sorcery. You have magic powers. You don't follow society's rules. You do whatever you want, like big Aquarius rebel kind of energy. That kind of thing is coming through. But yeah, you don't follow the rules. And that's a part of your sex appeal. Let's see what else. Why are men / your person or people in general drawn to you? And this rash is still pissing me off. I know it's not cute to look at. Just ignore it, please. I try to ignore it. So please, Spirit, can you tap me into the energy of my group 2s? Maybe you ignore people as well, or you ignore men. Maybe you don't like pay any attention to their advances, right? I'm being called to, earlier we had like a meeting at work, and one of the bosses was like, we have a conference we have to go to like in 2 weeks. And he was like, oh, make sure to smile. The white men love it when you smile, because we're a group, not a group, but a office full of colored women. And I'm like, white men aren't the only men that like when people smile, because black men be saying it all the time on the streets of New York, like, smile, beautiful. And I'm like, if you don't get your behind out my face. And I feel like you're the kind of person who does that, right? Oh boy, I'm hearing the all-American reject. So maybe you are definitely someone who kind of likes to dwell on the outskirts of society. So you're kind of giving like a mysterious vibe to these men or your person. Take what resonates for you. But why are men, their person, so drawn to them? What is their sex appeal for my group 2s? Here we have the 5 of Cups. Yeah, so you're definitely giving me someone who's more quiet, more reserved. You keep to yourself. The 5 of Cups is an energy of like sadness. So maybe you give like sad puppy that they want to help or nurture or kind of bring back to life. That could be a vibe coming through for some of you. Let's see what the rest of the cards say though. For my group 2s, please, Spirit, my group 2s, why are men so drawn to them? What's their sex appeal, please, Spirit? Or why is their person so drawn to them? Maybe you kind of heal their sadness as well with the 5 of Cups. You get them, you make them feel a little bit happier, because the 5 of Cups, I'm being the Fool. Yeah, you kind of bring them back to life a little bit. This person, if you're watching for a specific person, you kind of bring them back to life. You make the background noise go away, because I don't know if you can hear it in the reading. Sometimes I think you can, then you can't, and then it's weird. So basically the heat is on in the background, right? And once again, I forgot to bring my headphones or my speaker that can go into the phone and kind of reduce the background noise. I don't know why I keep forgetting to bring it. Like when I get home, like I said, I'm just ready to hop in my bed. But anyway, I digress. It's like annoying to me. I can hear it whether you can or not, and it really just upsets my soul, right? So it's kind of like when they're with you, they're just focused on you. So whatever background noise is going on in their life, they can kind of ignore that for a while, because it doesn't bother me until I kind of pause and like try to focus on the reading, and that's when the noise kind of like filters in. So it's like when they're focused on you, it's just you. And then when you're not there, when they're not focused on you, the rest of the world and the troubles and whatever start to trickle in. You know what I mean? So that's coming through. And now the heat kind of went away as soon as I like talked about it or acknowledged it. It went away. Okay, so 5 of Cups, yeah, there's like 2 cups behind this person, and it's kind of like you represent those 2 cups. Their solace, their peace, that soulmate kind of energy. You match their freak is what I'm hearing as well. So this person can be a little bit of a freak if you're watching for a specific person. We know men in general tend to be freaks, right? But your person is kind of like you match their freak, okay? But the Fool, like you make them excited. I don't know. You get them excited. We have the Hierophant in reverse. Yeah, because there's something here about you that's unconventional, I feel like. The Hierophant on the right kind of represents conventionality, going with the flow, traditionality, all that kind of stuff. The Hierophant in reverse can represent someone who's more unconventional. So we're getting a big Aquarius vibes. Okay. Let's see what else is coming through, please. For my group 2s. What is their sex appeal? We have the 7 of Cups. Interesting. This looks kind of like a creepy 7 of Cups. This person here with the mask on. Yeah, they kind of want to see behind the mask. And look at how Even though this person is like, they have a mask on, they still have this dragon lizard thing protecting them. So like you're protected up, you're double protected. You have like a spirit guide that's gonna like tear off heads about you, or you know, spirit animal guide, spirit guide. I said what I said, right? And the Hierophant can kind of represent that as well. The Hierophant in some readings represent the spirit guide to me. There's one particular deck that kind of blossomed that or bloomed that meaning in front of my, oh my gosh. Who bloomed that meaning in my head. So there's a deck called the Golden Wheel Tarot, and the Hierophant is like this, of course, male figure, drenched or draped in robes, standing in front of this mysterious cave. And it's kind of like this person standing there telling you, come to me and let me take you to this cave and tell you all my secrets, kind of energy. And that just always gave me spirit guide, the way they, you know, depicted the picture. So like sometimes the Hierophant comes through as the spirit guide card to me, and then we have spirit guide energy coming through. So it's definitely giving me your energy of someone who's very protected. Even if you don't consider yourself to be someone who's very private or mysterious or intense or whatever, there's just something about you that's hard to get close to, and it could be that double barrier of protection your spirit guides or spirit animals kind of provide you, that keep people who have no good intentions away from you. You know what I mean? Or it's kind of like reminding me of a video that I did sorry, a while ago about why are you still single? That was the topic of the reading, and one of the readings it kind of gave me, because people who come into your life that don't have any good intentions are just going to waste your time. Spirit immediately removes them. So if you find yourself always getting ghosted, or you find yourself in connections that never go anywhere, and you're kind of like so frustrated, like what the heck is the problem? Like, am I the problem? Am I the drama? No, you're not the drama. You're not the problem. It's just you have like very strong, like, I want to call them like wards, spiritual, energetic wards around you, whether it's you placing them up or you asking for protection. And that is them trying to protect you, saying this person, they may be cute. You may have thought that something could go somewhere, but they are not the person for you. And so you find someone who's energetically matched, who has the power to get past these wards and not have us like shun them away. You're going to be single on your own kind of energy is what's coming through. So I do believe the fact that you, or the reason that you are like sexy to the men, or what draws them to you, is the fact that you're a little bit unattainable. They can't get to you. You're single. Men always say, oh, that person there's always single. Nobody can get her, or nobody can get him, them, whatever. And they're kind of like, oh, I bet you I can. And they just kind of get flung out of your, you know, existence or your life just as fast as they came. So I feel like if you're the person or people who always constantly deal with that, like people come into your life, they're cute, you like them, you're talking to them, but they never stick around. They either ghost or disappear, or things never go anywhere. It's kind of like your spirit team or the energetic wards you have up around you are kind of like flinging them into the ether somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm seeing Team Rocket blasting off again, when they would kind of get blasted away by, is it Pikachu? When he would go Pika 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 and electrocute them, and they would just kind of get flung into the universe kind of energy. That's what I'm getting. Your energetic guides, or your spirit guides, your spirit animals, because Pikachu was more like an animal than a person. He would be like, no, none of this. And they would just kind of like fling them away. That's the kind of energy I'm getting. So because you have this barrier up around you, and the thought of you is what's coming through here. The thought of being with you and what you represent, and the fact that people can't get close to you is what makes you even more, you know, sexy to them, because they can't get you, you know? That's what I'm getting. Because the Seven of Cups is all about the mind and the thoughts and the what ifs, and the I want this and I kind of want that, and kind of cooking up little schemes in your head of what could happen. What could this person be about? Who are they really? Because all I've heard is whispers. I don't know who they are for real. All I know is their reputation, you know? And the Seven of Cups kind of like trying to debunk these things, but they can't get close enough to do that. And that's what makes you even more mysterious, right? That's funny. I love that. I'm like, well, what is this? Like, what's coming through here? It's like a bunch of different stuff, honestly. But yeah, it's definitely giving me how you have energetic protection up around you. So when people get too close, spirits kind of like fling. And that's why they're kind of like sad a little bit, because they can't get too close. Now, if this is someone who's worth getting to know you, I do believe they want to know more. There's kind of like an energy of, like I said, daydreaming, what if. Like there's so many adjacent possibilities kind of energy. Anything can happen with this person, right? And that is kind of like tying into the full energy of you, like being someone who believes in the impossible. You believe in the magic and stuff like that, you know? That's what I'm getting for you. Sorry. Something got stuck in my tooth. It's kind of like you get stuck and they can't get rid of you, essentially. But this could definitely be like my spiritual group. Because this kind of reminded me of someone was trying to ask me, like, what am I or what is that? When I said I'm spiritual, they're kind of like, okay, what spiritual in what way? Or I was talking about the spiritual community and they're kind of like, what community? And I'm like, the spiritual community. And they're kind of like, uh-huh. And like when we met up, he was asking like all these questions and I'm kind of like, this is not a conversation we can have in a 5-minute Uber ride to the next location. This is a conversation where we have to sit down and have to explain things to you. This is not the kind of, like, this is so esoteric and like deep and like wild and big world. And I'm like, I don't know what to call it. Is it the spiritual community? Is it whatever? You know what I mean? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, child, you have a lot to learn, young grasshopper. I don't even know where to start with you. Like, you know nothing about it, know nothing about this. But then we were kind of having conversations. And like, there was like just a toe dip into it. And I'm like, there's so much. I can't even summarize this journey that I've been on, child. You gotta bear with me. This is a whole week, month, year, lifelong process of trying to understand what spirituality is and kind of explaining it to people. When they're like, oh, you're spiritual, what does that mean? I'm like, child, that's a good question. What does that mean, right? So you're kind of representing this enigma that people can't quite understand, but they want to try. It's like being with you. It's like being on an adventure where everything seems so brand new to them, at least, right? This could be like everyday things to you, but then when you meet someone or you're with this person, if you're watching for a specific person, they're kind of like, why light candle? Why burn sage? You know, why chant? Why meditate? What is this kind of energy? And you're kind of like, I don't know how to explain this. Stop asking me questions. Like, leave me alone. And their mind is cooking up all these different things with the 7 of Cups here. Their mind is cooking up all these things like, oh my gosh, this girl is weird. Like, this is not everyday stuff with the Hierophant in reverse. And they're just trying to understand and make sense of you. And that's what makes you sexy. The fact that every little thing they uncover is like this new world to them. And there's like a kid discovering a bunch of new stuff. And they're kind of like, wait. And then there's this part and then there's that part. I'm like, yes, there's so many parts. Please stop asking me or expecting me to summarize it. You know what I mean? If you didn't even know there was such a thing as a spiritual community, I don't know what to tell you, my boy. Like, there's so much to this, child. And there's so much that I still don't know, and some things that I may never know. So I'm kind of like, how do you kind of, you know, that's how they're seeing you. How do you explain? How do you summarize? How do you put into one word or a sentence how big and enigmatic and, you know, mysterious this person kind of is, you know? There's a card in the Astro, is it Astro Seek or Astro something deck, right? And it's called like, is it Numinous? There's like a card that represents like ethereal and esoteric and things like that where you just can't seem to explain it. It's like, I can't come up with the word. It could be numinous. I'm not 100% sure, but that's kind of what you guys are giving me. Mysterious and ethereal at the same time. Then we have the freaking star. Exactly. I was calling you guys Aquarians or Aquarius was coming through at the beginning of the reading. So that's coming through once again. You're a rebel. Then we have the King of Swords. Okay, you're very knowledgeable. You're very smart. It's definitely giving you like sage energy. And then we have the Devil card coming through here. The Devil. And can I get one more card, please, Spirit? What's their sex appeal? Why are men drawn to them? You're like temptation. You're something they can't have is kind of what I'm getting here. These are way too many cards. Let me peek at them. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm gonna pull again. One more card, please, Spirit. One more card. It's kind of like, yeah, you're something that's put in front of them they can't have. The Seven of Pentacles, clarifying the Seven of Cups. How beautiful. It's like something they have to work for. That's kind of what's coming through as well. You know, you'll let people into your life, of course, but they have to work for that privilege. They have to work to earn a spot in your life. They have to work to earn, like, your love, your attention, you know? Interesting, guys. You guys are quite interesting. But the Star, there's like something special about you that they can't quite put their finger on. It's kind of like how we see the stars, but we still don't understand how. It's like, I don't know. Like when you're staring at the moon, you're kind of trying to understand, how is it there? How do we see it? You know, it's kind of like the human race seeing a star for the first time, or the moon for the first time, and making it their mission to understand what they are, traveling to the moon, trying to learn as much about space or the ocean as possible. And it's kind of like there's no way, like we can only travel so deep in the ocean, and we can only travel so far in space. There's never going to be a time when we know everything there is to know about space or the ocean. Even Earth, there are places we can't even reach, right? There's rainforests we'll never be able to penetrate. Like there's certain, it's like that. You're giving me that, you know, or you're giving me the cave even that I was mentioning in the Hierophant card that was coming through in the Golden Wheel Tarot. You're representing that person standing in front of the cave saying, do you want to come and explore the depths of this cave? And they're kind of like, yeah, I do. Taking you as like a journey to embark on. But there's only so far you can go in a cave, so you can't travel anymore, or it gets too small, right? And so you're never going to be able to know the full extent of who this person is the kind of vibe that's coming through for you that makes you like so appealing to these men, right? Now let's see if we can get into anything like physical. Okay, the Hierophant is a big energy coming through here, and the Hierophant is Taurus energy, and that's like lips, mouth, throat, voice. Okay, so those things about you are very attractive to this person. That kind of adds to your sex appeal. Then we have the Fool card, which to me always represents Aries energy. So it kind of gives me your strong will. You have a big head. You're very strategic. You're good at, and I love, oh my gosh, as I say that, I'm realizing that the King of Swords is representing, or sorry, is clarifying the Fool card. So it is something here about the things you know. And I love how the King of Swords has a crow on his shoulder, and crows are known as being mysterious and representing like the underworld, or representing the death or the other side, you know. I'm hearing ghost town could be coming through as well. So maybe you're someone who likes to be by yourself, on your own. You're comfortable on your own. There's something here I'm hearing. There was love in the silence, and now after all of these years, you're the light in my darkness. Darling, please listen close in your ear. There's still love in the quiet. In the Silence by J.P. Cooper. Such a good freaking song. Was obsessed with it for the longest time. Still am obsessed with it, but it doesn't play as much on my Spotify. I gotta put that back in my rotation. But In the Silence is coming through. There's something here about you being able to just be quiet, or you're more comfortable not speaking. And they just want to know what you're thinking. Especially because we have the Seven of Cups here as well. They're always thinking about the endless possibilities, but they're also wondering what you're thinking when they're with you. Yeah, you're a bit of a mystery. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. The Devil is Capricorn energy. And Capricorn is like, it's like giving full body temptation as well, because down here is kind of giving me a full body, and this lady is laying here fully naked, so it's like a full body experience. They love your whole body. And then even in the Star, we're kind of getting a full show here. I'm glad that it's not as graphic as it could be, because then YouTube will have an issue with it, but you can't really barely see nothing, child. Okay, it looks like a regular man chest, and they better keep it that way. Okay, so your chest is coming through for sure, your voice, your throat, your lips. Okay, the Fool is Aries energy, and Aries is like the head. You have like a nice head or a nice face and then your body is coming through, so it's like a full package deal for you guys. Okay, your back is coming through as well, like the back of you, the view from the back. Period. But literally in this card here, this person's taking off the mask. So it looks like they're taking off their face. So your face is coming through as well. They do want to see behind that as well. Makeup would always be good. You could have long hair. That's something that's coming through as well. Strong arms if you're a guy. Your feet are strong and masculine. That's very attractive. Even here with the devil card, somebody that's strong and masculine and vigilant is kind of like giving a little bit of a warrior, especially because we have Aries coming through in the Fool. The King of Swords is also voice energy. The Star is Aquarius energy. And I forget what Aquarius rules, but I always remember like the skin. So you can have like a very glowy, luminous skin. Okay. Some of you can be very hairy. That's coming through, especially for my men. You have hair every freaking where, and they find that very attractive. Okay, a strong back, strong arms, strong legs. Okay, I'm hearing a perky booty for my men. Don't mind me, I'm sorry, it just always cracks me up. Okay, what were we going over though? The Star, I think, is what we were on. Yeah, it's like when you're looking up at the sky and trying to like gaze at the stars and trying to figure out why they're so beautiful, why do they shine, where do they come from, you know? Then we have the King of Swords. There's something here about the way you communicate, the way you speak. It could be very eloquent, very beautiful, like prose, like poetic. Could definitely be something coming through as well. Or maybe like very oracle, like, right? Ominous, like, right? Because when I think of the crow, I think of they know things that, you know, us humans don't know, because they're able to travel between the waking world and the spiritual world, right? And bring messages because they're also birds. So it's kind of like 1 minute you're like sitting there and the next minute you're saying something so profound and oracle-like, and they're kind of like, are you good, my love? And you're kind of like, yeah, I'm chill, I'm just channeling right now, mind your business kind of energy. So you guys could definitely be channelers. You're definitely giving me spiritual guys, okay? Or girls, sorry. Dudes and dudettes. Or they, thems, you know? Then we have the Devil. And it's just something, I don't know, naughty about you. I don't know what it is, but your sex appeal includes something very naughty. I'm getting like plump, full-figured, sexy, sensuous. Yes, you know? Like when you think of a Taurian experience, it's something that kind of fulfills all the senses. You smell good, you look good, you feel good, you taste good. Period. What's the other? You look good, you sound good, you taste good, you feel good. And what's the other one? You look good, I think. Because the 5 senses are taste, touch, hearing. I forget. I don't got time for that right now. Because I feel like I'm a little bit confused. I'm like, yeah, there's taste. Okay, there's tasting, there's feeling, there's touching, there's seeing, and there's hearing. Okay, those are the 5 senses. I'm like, wait, I know them. It's giving all of those. You kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? You tantalize all of those senses in this person, okay? So it's kind of like a full 5-course meal. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm just like, yeah. And then getting quiet. It's like this person just being with you is good, fine enough. You know what I mean? Just being right by your side is good enough for this man or this person, this woman, this person coming through. Just like, yeah, that's my man. My man, my man, my man, my baby, nigga me down, driving me crazy. It's like giving that. Or my woman, my baby, like pussing me down. Let me stop. But it's giving that kind of energy, okay? I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm getting crazy at this. Y'all, I can't with y'all. I really can't. I can't with myself. Cause y'all, okay. Let's see what else is coming through. Please spare for my group 2s. Jeez Louise. And that's all I'm gonna take 2. There could be something here about, oh my gosh, please. Your reading is much more like sensuous than group 1s. There's something about the way you finish, okay? It was kind of like a sigh, the way you sound, all that, okay? That's coming through. But anyway, we have the alchemist, empowerment, pain, and sorceress. Okay, so, oh, I don't break that easy, not anymore. Instead, I use things as fuel. So turning your pain into power, turning your pain into purpose is kind of what's coming through here. When things come your way, you don't fold under the pressure. You kind of find a solution is what's coming through, okay? Like, I used to break, not anymore. And they want to know why. What broke you? What broke you? Kind of thing, you know? I use things as fuel. I think, did this come through for group one? I don't think so. The image came through for group one though. And I was like, you're giving princess vibes because they have like the fairies or whatever playing with their hair. But I think these are bees, not fairies. Even if they are, not the same card. Okay. Then we have the mirror. So look, there's something here about looks coming through. It says self-reflection, writer, and big picture. Okay. So I was using archetypes to describe group one because that was coming through very clearly. And I thought it was the best way for me to describe their energy. For you guys, I think I explained it well enough, but I do want to give you guys archetypes as well. There's 7 archetypes that women are categorized under. And I was watching a video about it, and I think you guys are kind of giving me the queen and the huntress. And also the mystic or the sage. You're giving me all of those because obviously women embody more than just one archetype. But you're giving me not lover, not maiden. You're definitely more so giving me huntress, queen, mother, sage, and mystic. All of those, okay? That's coming through for you guys, really. Because you embody all those things. And you're also giving the lover as well because lover is like associated with Aphrodite. And you guys are very much giving that. So all of them, honestly. But yeah, there may be one that you kind of resonate with more than the other, but I find that I resonate with all of them. When I watch the video, I'm like, I can't choose just one or two. I'm like, oh, that one is me. Oh, and so is that one. And that one. So that could be what makes you so sexy because you embody all of the female archetypes. You embody Persephone the maiden. You embody Aphrodite the lover. You embody Athena the sage, I think she is. You embody the huntress, Artemis. Who else did she say? I'm forgetting the people she talked about. But anyway, you're embodying all those goddesses, right? You're not just one, you're everything. Oh boy. And there could also be here an energy of you kind of like mirroring them back to them or mirroring their worst traits or their best traits, whatever, back to this person. Here we have self-reflection, writer, and big picture thinking. It doesn't say thinking, but it says big picture. Thinking just comes naturally. That could be something as well. Thinking just comes naturally to you. I'm trying to figure out what it says on the book. It says, did you forget all you had to go through to be you? So there's something here about you going through some stuff. Because not I don't break that easy, not anymore. And then here we have, did you forget all that you've been through? Excuse me? What stuff y'all been through, child? So there's like something here about like a sageness, a quietness, a matureness. I've been through some things in this to you guys. That makes people want to know all the things you've been through. Because I feel like most spiritual people have been through some things to get to this spiritual side of life. You know what I mean? There's religion, then there's people who don't have religion, and there's people who are just living life just to live life. And then there's people who are living life with a purpose. You are here for a purpose. You're living life with purpose and intention, you know, and integrity. And this person or these people are acknowledging that and they like that, okay? So here we have sweet oblivion. So when they're with you, they don't have to think about anything else. It's just you and them. Like I said, you represent that quiet, right? It's okay. I don't know what I'm doing either. Sweet oblivion, uncertainty, fate, and humor. There's many men who could feel like if they were fated to meet you or fated to be with you. Obviously, you're only fated to be with one person unless you believe in all that polygamy and having more than one soulmate kind of energy. But every guy you meet thinks you're the one is the kind of vibe that's coming through. And that's also part of your sex appeal, right? Now, let's get some cards from this deck here. There's something here about camaraderie. And there could also be something here about you not realizing your true power. Because with this uncertainty and fate coming through, it's kind of like they find it funny or crazy that you don't realize how powerful you actually are, how beautiful you actually are, how sexy you actually are, how powerful you actually are, how much control and power you have over them, more specifically for these men or women, whatever you're attracted to. Is kind of like the person that doesn't know how attractive they really are. And people are kind of like, do you not know that you a baddie? You a baddie with your baddie friend, right? You know, maybe you're kind of someone who gives like Lady Diana vibes. Because I'm hearing that song by, what's her name? In the Hood, I'm like Princess Diana. These some things ain't taking nothing from me but notes. Princess Diana by, I can't remember her name. Ice Spice. Yeah, Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj. Okay, here we have whiskey. Life should be sipped slowly with intention. What was I saying about intention? Stop playing. Be patient as the vision reveals itself. This is also giving me, you definitely have to go through a lot to get to where you are now. That's something that they find very sexy. They want to know more about it. It's kind of like they want to lick your mind, okay? So you're definitely giving someone who stimulates the mind, stimulates the senses, the body, all that. And it makes them go feral with the devil card coming through. But I also love how we have the devil, which represents like addictions and people getting like obsessed with you and, you know, vices and stuff like that. And then we have you coming out as a whiskey. So you're something that could very easily become addicting to these men, you know, or you already are, you know. Everyone around you is taking notes. They want to be more like you. Here you have a corn maze. So there is something mysterious. It says, although your path is unclear, it is there waiting for your faith to lead you. So we keep having things about faith, intention, spirituality coming through. And then one more card, please, Spirit. Wine. Look at that. Or pomegranate. Dare to taste the unknown. Let it seduce your spirit awake. This is probably my favorite card in this deck. And I'm pretty sure I haven't seen all the cards in this deck. Like, by the way, root vegetables, never seen this one. I'm just pulling cards to see what comes through. But it kind of resonates. Let me take it. But anyway, because it says, in those hidden places where most fear to go is where the most nourishment is waiting for you to behold. So I do believe that kind of resonates with what was coming through for you guys as well. You're not afraid to do the hard work, the dirty work, the spiritual work. Spirituality is not easy in the least. It's a lot of shadow work. It's a lot of growth. It's a lot of being called out. Okay, as you kind of know, if you are a frequent tarot watcher, it's kind of like, oh, excuse me, you know, kind of energy. But yeah. But anyway, I'm like, this is my favorite card in the deck right here. Dare to taste the unknown and let it seduce your spirit awake. I just want to bite my nail. Like, period. That sounds so sexy. Like, that was coming through. Like, ooh, yeah, seduce me. Do that. The unknown is what is sexy about you. What could come. The journey with the Fool card. You know what I mean? Ugh, so sexy, guys. Who's sexy? You're sexy. Who's sexy? You're sexy. Who's sexy? Who's sexy? You're sexy. Let's go. Like, it's definitely giving me that. You know, maybe you could be like a hype woman or hype man, or people or men or whatever just want to hype you up, right? Ooh, I love this. But this card right here, and here we have wine coming through. Here we have whiskey coming through. Here we have corn coming through. Here we have food coming through. We need food for sustenance. So first of all, you're a necessity. Okay, when it comes to what these men want for you. Once you're in their life, you become a necessity until you decide to leave. If it were up to them, that you would never go anywhere kind of energy, you know? You would be with them forever. But then we have these two, like, whiskey, and then we have whiskey, and then we have like this wine substance coming through. Those are very easily, you can become addicted to them. And they're also used as like aphrodisiacs or things to kind of like calm you down or get you out of your head. Escapism vibes, right? I found myself in an ish position. The man that I loved broke me down last night and he told me it was over. A dumb decision. Okay, anyway, I'm done. But that's what's coming through for you guys. And we have the owl, we have birds, we have messengers. It's giving oracle, it's giving someone who's spiritual. That kind of energy coming through for sure. And the star coming through here is definitely giving like astrology. You like to look at the stars and make sense of them. And this person likes to be right there by your side, helping you make sense of them or watching you make sense of them, you know? So I'm going to leave your reading right there. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always do so using my email, in the description box below. I do have memberships on the channel now, and memberships, you have more control over what you want to see, right? So if you want to see specific videos, you ask for them, I give them to you, and there you go. We can also get a little bit more crazy over there on the memberships because I'm not beholden to the ad revenue program for YouTube. I'm not trying to get ads. If I'm getting memberships every month, I don't care about them ads, child. I say what I say and do what I do, okay? There's some videos over there ready for you guys if you're interested. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day. Hype the video if you haven't already, please and thank you. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group threes. Welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me here today. Today's reading is going to be a fun topic because I feel like the last 3 readings that I've done have been a little bit more serious. What lessons, the new you, new year, whatever. And I want to get back into a little lighthearted energy, bring the fun back into it so I don't feel so drained or bogged down by just serious readings, okay? So we're going to get into why are men so drawn to you, or a specific person in general if you want to watch for a specific person. And what's your sex appeal, right? So we're going to get into that and see what comes through. Maybe you're someone who's like musically inclined, because I feel a lot more sing-songy in your reading. Maybe you're someone who's like full of energy and life, okay? Because usually I'm kind of like more tired towards group 3, but I feel like I'm like gaining energy or something. So you can kind of be like a little bit of a battery, okay? You could have a large social battery. Here we have the 6 of Cups. Yeah, that's that childlike energy that you have carrying around. You have like a really big or prominent inner child. Or you just have the energy that children just tend to never run out of. So my group 3s, please spirit my group 3s. Why is their person or men in general so drawn to them? Here we have the High Priestess. Interesting. If you want all these, we'll take them. We have the 8 of Wands. That's that. Yeah, that's the energy. A lot of it. We have the King of Pentacles. We have the Star. And then we have the 3 of Swords. Anything else for why are men so drawn, or their person? We have the 9 of Cups. Wow. And then we have one more card, please, spirit. One more card. Appreciate you. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Yeah. Okay. So y'all are like in the spotlight in some kind of way, but you don't chase the spotlight. The spotlight tends to chase you. If anything, you kind of run from the spotlight, I feel like. You know what I mean? Or you could have like issues being vulnerable because you're only seen as like a good time girl. Could be a small vibe coming through for some of you, right? So we have the Star, we have the Queen of Wands, then we have, what else? I guess 9 of Cups would do with it, and then 8 of Wands as well. All these cards are kind of giving me someone who's like a good time person. They bring the high vibes, right? They bring all the vibes, and then also when I do like 18 plus readings sometimes, do we see all these wands coming at the 8 of Wands? You're highly desired, okay? You're highly sought after. You could be someone who has like multiple people or a roster at any given time, multiple people trying to shoot their shots at you, whether you're in a relationship, single, doesn't matter. Multiple people who see you as very desirable, who are trying to shoot their shot at you at multiple times. If you see all these wands, wink, wink, shove, shove, like trying to come in and accost this person or energy, is the 8 of Wands coming through. Okay. And then I think the King of Pentacles was there. There's this. And then, yeah, it makes sense. I was trying to figure out where the Queen of Wands would land. Sorry. So we have the Queen of Wands clarifying the 8 of Wands. So it's because of your magnetism. It's because of your charm. It's because of your charisma. It's because of your spunk. It's because of your sass. It's because of your talent. Whatever that may be, that men are attracted to you. It's kind of like giving star energy, you know what I mean? Like famous kind of energy. People want to get close to people who are famous because of what they could give them, right? So whatever it is that whatever it is that attracts men to you, whatever that may be, if they're thinking about it as what they could get from you, right? Kind of like they could get clout from being with you. They could get like rub elbows with people who can get them something. There's something about them wanting something from you. Or just wanting you in general. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm hearing, I'm not a prize to be won, Jasmine, where she hated all the attention she got because she didn't care about it. She didn't want love. Really, she wanted to be a leader. She wanted to grow. And because she was a woman and she just so happened to be an attractive woman and that she happened to be a princess, men just looked at her as something to marry off. You know what I mean? When she was worried about being sultan, she wanted to rule. Queen of Wands, King of Pentacles. You know what I mean? She wanted to rule. And men were looking at her like a prize. They wanted to rule her. You see what I'm saying? That's the perfect way to put it. She was worried about being the ruler of her own life, but these men wanted to rule her. They wanted to be in control of her. Not to dim her light, but to like control. Oh, how ghetto. Yeah. Control is a big thing coming through here. How ghetto. I don't like this. But it just happens to be a thing in our society where when they see a successful woman, they kind of want to not dim her light, but they want to get close to her. And they want to be in her energy, and so she doesn't let them, get away with certain things. And all of a sudden, she's a B, and she's a this, and she's a that. Is kind of what I'm getting here for you guys. It's kind of like you be minding your business with the star card. She's just sitting here soaking her foot, and people are just looking at her. You can't help but be noticed. Like I said, for some of you, you don't like being noticed, and you try to shrink away and hide because the High Priestess came out before the Star and the Queen of Wands. So it's kind of like you try so hard to like, not even disappear into the shadows, but you're very private and you like to be very discerning with your time and who gets to be in your life. And because you also embody an energy of the Star and the Queen of Wands, they just want to be in your life and think that they have like a right to your autonomy is kind of what I'm getting. So I'm getting very strongly that men see you like an object for some reason. That they want to own, control, collect as a prize, trophy wife kind of things. You're successful in your own right, but they kind of want to add you as like a trophy to the. And you see we have the 9 of freaking cups. Exactly. I just realized that. Like, we have the 9 of cups, and they want to add you to their trophy. They want to add you to their like award case, their shelf, and say, yeah, I got that person. It's not so much about wanting to know who you are as a person. It's more so like you being something they want to, like I said, win. How ghetto. I don't like this at all. But your sex appeal does consist of that, unfortunately. For some of you, you do have kids. That doesn't stop them from wanting you, but that could be something coming through, right? You're like a MILF or something, right? You could be like a, not too much, but you could be like a Kim Kardashian kind of person where your background isn't the cleanest, isn't the, squeakiest. We all know how she rose to fame, but then she made a difference with that. She used it to like propel her forward. She used her looks, her beauty. I think she's also a Libra, so it makes sense why people like lust after her because she's ruled by Venus in some way, shape, or form, right? So people are lusting after her, seeing her as an object, and then whenever they're talking about her, they kind of talk down to her, even though she's like done everything in her power to become this like respectable lady. It's kind of like you can't outrun your past in some kind of way, or you can't outrun the people's first impression of you, The first thing people see or meet you as is like the basis of what they base, I guess, everything else on, if that makes any kind of sense to you. So your first impression or your reputation, I kind of feel like it's more than anything, is something that's like maybe party girl, party guy kind of thing, and they're seeing you as that. Interesting. But yeah, something here about a possession, to own kind of thing. So first off, we have the 6 of Cups. We'll start from the beginning. The 6 of Cups is like a very youthful, playful, kind of like comfortable energy. So a part of your sex appeal is the fact that you make men feel comfortable immediately. You know what I mean? Or maybe you accommodate them. You make them feel like, oh, okay, this person like wants to please me in some kind of way. So you could be kind of giving submissive energy, okay? Okay, period. And then we have the high priestess. So she's more of a secretive kind of person. She's quiet. She looks, doesn't talk much. Her life is very much private. If this here don't shut up, there can be like a lot of background chatter about you. People talk about you a lot when you're not around or not in the room. Because there's something about a reputation that goes around, and men kind of like see you, and they're basing you off of your reputation, not off of what they know about you or what they thought about you the first time they met you. It's like, oh, I heard this about her, right? Oh, the ghetto. Anyway, it's kind of giving me how like in high school there used to be these people who would like get caught up in like scandal. Yes, in high school there was these girls who like was getting recorded doing some stuff in the staircase, and people were recording them and uploading them on like, is it World Star, whatever was popular when I was in high school. But there's like a specific website that they would post, you know, underage, first of all, children doing things with their then boyfriends or just cute boys in school. And then whenever you would hear it, it would kind of like blow up around the school. And before you even know who the person was, you knew of their reputation. You knew of what they got caught doing. And there was plenty of people that I knew of, didn't know them personally, but based off of what I was hearing them do on the staircase, I was kind of like, oh, girl, not in public, not in high school, not in school grounds, like, not shaming you for getting done and dirty, because teenagers, like, you have the raging hormones, you know what I mean? But you doing it in the hallway, in the staircase, for anybody to come and see? Oh, heck no. And that did affect how I view them, what I heard about them without even knowing them at all. That's what's kind of coming through for you guys. So you have a reputation, guys. Just putting that out there, okay? And then we have the Eight of Wands. A lot of talk and gossip. Exactly. A lot of energy, chatter, whatever, when it comes to you. That's what's coming through for sure. And then we have the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is someone who's successful. Then we have the Queen of Wands, someone who's successful and also has a great personality, and everyone loves them. And I do believe there's like an air of like haterade. People trying to hate on you because when you're seen as someone who's very desirable and you're successful based off of maybe those desires. So like maybe OnlyFans or people who work in like clubs in the adult industry, people already just know them based off of their name or their reputation in the industry. And you're kind of already looking down on them saying, oh, adult entertainment, really? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, they got many money. We don't got to survive out here in the world. We got to use our talents. Their talents just so happen to be physical. And they do what they got to do. Okay? And I'm kind of like, oh, the older I get, the more I'm like, I don't give a, I don't care what people do, honestly. Whatever makes you happy, whatever helps you make your money, it's hard out here in the world, okay? But you know what I mean? There's something here about word of mouth, whispering, gossip, like chatter when it comes to your name, your reputation. That kind of like adds or lends itself to your reputation or your sex appeal. They're kind of like, oh, I heard some good things from my bros about her. Or in the group chat, I heard some things in the group chat. I'm like, huh? It's like giving a rating system. Maybe you're like highly sought after because you do good work in the bedroom, right? That's the kind of energy I'm getting. Like this friend of a friend of a friend told their friend of a friend of a friend, oh, that girl, she's so good at giving this. She's so good at doing this. Oh my gosh, she was the best I've ever been with. And how they kind of want to run after you and be with you too. Very ghetto, I know. But that's what's coming through. Your sex appeal has something to do with like word of mouth, right? Okay. But it's also something driven in like success because you're good at something. It doesn't have to be adult topics, but there's something you're very good at that men are kind of like, oh, I heard what that mouth do. See, stuff like that is what's coming through, guys. Ugh, please, I can't. Anyway. Then we have the Star, and it's kind of like a little bit like unattainable kind of energy. That's also coming through, where everybody's not going to get a crack at you. People may have, and they may have talked about it, and, did a review, whatever. I'm getting like a forum or something. Like, I don't know what men do in their spare time, honestly, but I know some of them got to be in the group chat or in a forum somewhere saying, I was with this one girl and her name is so-and-so and she gave them, like, it's giving nasty, very nasty behavior, honestly. Like a rating system, they said her name is this, her name is that. How much you want to bet somewhere out there in the world men have a website or a forum just like this where only men are allowed in, and they say the girl's whole government, They say where she lives, where she's from, and it's so dangerous and so nasty, but it's coming through for a reason. And whenever they're done being with that person, they run to that forum and say, I rate her a 5 out of 5. You know what I mean? She's good at this. She could use work here. Like, that's the kind of nastiness I feel like is running around about you. And then men are kind of like, oh, really? And they kind of want to come give it a try. Oh, disgusting behavior. And that's what this high priestess can represent here. Secrets and things you don't really know, right? Things that people are saying behind your back. Especially because it's clarified by the Three of Swords. So people from your past, people who are broken up, who you've broken up with, is the bigger vibe that I'm getting here. They're kind of like, oh, she thinks she's so good, da da da, and they're going and talking mess about you to their buddies or to their bros and their bros and the friends of bros and whatever. And then before you even meet people, they already have like this preconceived notion of who you are. And it's kind of like, nah, I'm just chill. And they're like, no, you broke my boy's heart. Oh my gosh, this is funny. Not funny in a way where it's like, haha, but it's like, what is going on here? There's always one reading that has to go out left field somewhere and do some stuff. And I'm like, huh? What are you trying to say, Spirit? Like, they have a roster? Or maybe you could have a roster and you're known for rating guys and you and your girlfriends have a website out there somewhere. Rating all the guys you've been with, period, as you should. Give them a taste of their own medicine. But it's definitely giving that, like, the heartbreaker, the been around the block, the good time girl kind of energy. This lady here, I don't know, but for whatever reason, she's giving me, like, Drake's baby mom. I think her name's, like, Sophie, whatever, and she was known for, like, being a adult star. You know what I mean? Then she ended up having a baby by Drake. So that could be coming through as well. It's definitely giving me, like, someone in the industry, someone who's big on social media. That could be your vibe. It could not be your vibe. I'm not sure. But that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting here. And then we have 9 of Cups. So it's kind of like 10 out of 10 is the rating that you get. They're just satisfied. This is so weird. And it's funny because some of you could be from group 1. Group 1 was like the 9 of Cups came out for them. And I'm getting the same smug energy from this energy here. I'm getting the same smug energy of, oh yeah, this girl did that and she did this and da 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 da, all for me and blah blah blah. Give me a second. I'm trying to move the cards properly. And that's like the big vibe that I'm getting here. Just like satisfied and telling anybody who would listen. I'm trying to make sure we see everything. Okay, don't fall, please. Thank you. But it's kind of like either you're hard to get or everybody wants to get you. You know, I think those two are different. You're someone who plays hard to get, but then there's some people who you have like high standards. You know, it's kind of what I'm getting as well. And you only deal with ballers or people who have money because you're someone who has money as well, right? So now you're seen as a dream, what they're dreaming about, because they want someone just like you, someone who has money, Kim Kardashian, the nice big house, the big butt, beautiful, whatever. And you kind of aspire to get this kind of person. It's giving dream girl vibes. You know what I mean? Like dream girl energy. That's your sex appeal. It's kind of like something they can't have, but they want so badly. They know it's so out of their league that they'll never have it, but they still want it and fantasize and dream about it. I swear if this here does not shut up, I'm about to go crazy. Give me a second. Whew. I had to wait for that to stop. And of course you fall. How rude. Ooh, that could be a message right there. They fall and they're not expecting to fall. But either way, with the 6 of Cups, there's an innocence to you. No matter what these men think, there's an innocence to you. There's a quietness to you. There's like a intrigue to you that most people don't know you, but they want to. Is what's coming through as well. You have left many people heartbroken over you. Yeah, I can see the way she's holding. Why are you looking like that? Don't piss me off. I'm just so not in the mood right now. Okay, thank you. Look at the way she's holding this wand. Back to the regular programming. It's like, you know, and then we have the black cat energy coming through here. Yeah, not someone to be messed with is kind of what I'm getting. I'm hearing like a soul snatcher, a soul grabber. You know what I mean? It's kind of the vibe that's coming through here. You out here snatching their souls, period. Definitely someone playful. There's an immediate like camaraderie. So you are very friendly, very open, okay? For some of you, I'm getting people fetishize you. I don't know how and what way, because everyone's fetish would be different, because you're all different people, different races, sizes, whatever, religions. But there's something here about people fetishizing you. I don't know, that just came through. It's like, I wonder what it would be like to be with this kind of person or with them. You know what I mean? Because I heard like girl next door, and I know most men love to do that whole girl next door, schoolgirl, kind of thing. Whatever your style may be, it doesn't really matter. But I was being called to how certain men fetishize that. Oh, girl next door, studious, innocent, non-experienced kind of thing, virginal kind of vibe coming through. And then other men fetishize the wild girl, the wild card, the one that's experienced and knows what she's doing and knows her way around. You know what I mean? Let me stop. Yo, I am no better because I'm done. Okay. But you're confident, you're sure of yourself, you're sexy, you dress well, you know what I mean? And that's sexy. Then some of you are more shy, more delicate, more girl next door-y. That's sexy, right? There's something here about you guys like have like I said, you're fetishized, or you're like a specific type. Does that make sense? Like people typecast you, if that makes some, you know, like, yeah, exactly. So like typecasting in Hollywood kind of refers to people who are only given one kind of role. So the quirky best friend, the designated ugly fat friend, the quirky BFF, the gay guy, the gay dude, the girl next door, the intense Latina lady. Like, you know, you're typecast as a certain thing. I'm kind of giving, you guys are giving you're typecasted. Yeah. But it's definitely giving you get along with everyone. People like your energy. Definitely look very mysterious. You keep to yourself. But you're also very bossy. Like, you guys are giving me a little bit of both, honestly. Especially because we have such polarizing energies here with the High Priestess, who more so keeps to herself, very secretive, very intelligent, very smart, very observant. And then we have the Queen of Wands, very bossy, very sassy, very witty, very much going after what she wants. You know what I mean? So it's giving a little bit of both energies coming through here. Then we have the Star, someone who's like a little bit of a rebel, who goes to be their own drum, who doesn't like, you know, do what people tell her, a little bit defiant. And that goes well with the Queen of Wands energy. But then we have the Six of Cups energy, which goes very well with the High Priestess energy of being like very more innocent, you know, naive. You know, you guys are kind of giving me the Maiden. That's coming through here for you guys. The archetype of the Maiden. You plant flowers and you're soft, you're delicate, you're cookie cutter and girl next door kind of energy coming through. Let's see what these cards say. Here we have space, time, and self. It says infinity, reincarnation, 5D. That's Six of Cups energy. The past. Trust in the places you feel guided towards. So very intuitive, very spiritual. I think you guys are like a perfect mix of group 1 and group 2. So some of you could have like been like, oh, which one? I want all 3. 3, this group would be a perfect like summarization of all of group 1 and group 2, honestly. Here we have magic. It says power, beginnings, transformation. I'm not underestimating my own magic anymore. You stop doing that. And that's what increased your magnetism. You step into your power. And I do believe that's the one thing that the Queen of Wands and the High Priestess does have in power. I mean, does have in common. Lord. That's one thing they do have in common, right? They both know their power. that power may manifest in different ways, but it's still there and they know it. So we could have different kinds of people watching the reading. Take what resonates for you. Or we could have, like I said, someone who embodies both those energies. You're giving the fly on the wallflower, but then you do have your moments of being out of your shell and crazy. And they're kind of like, ooh, I like both. Both. Okay? Here we have growing pains. And it says healing patience in the unconscious. That's that healing energy coming through. You could be someone who is very healing. Growing pains is also kind of giving me someone who's like maybe awkward when they were younger and then kind of like grew into their appearance. That's also a vibe that I'm getting here. So you used to be the awkward wallflower, then you kind of blossomed into the beautiful, you know, vibrant, outgoing person that you are now. So you still have both of those sides to you. But what's kind of emerging even more is the butterfly from the cocoon. You're not hiding anymore. You're kind of very boasty, confident, showing off your skills, you know, your artistic abilities. And that's something that's very appealing. Okay, one more card. Here we have the mystic. Look at that. Intuition, high priestess, visionary. High priestess coming out again. And visionary is also the star Aquarius energy. So you see things in life the way other people don't. And it says there's a reason you have those dreams. The mystic. I think you're more of like a integrated mystic. Because there's some mystics who don't really want to be around society at all. They sit by themselves, mind their business. And then we have the mystics who are the tarot readers on YouTube, who are the brujas and the witches and the hoodooists and all of that on social media. And they're kind of teaching other people how to do what they do. So like I said, there's that side to them that's like on the world stage, showing people what to do in front of the camera. But then there's also the side to them that has all this deep well of knowledge and is teaching others how to do it and how to be it, you know? You're giving both of those archetypes in one. So you could definitely be a sexy, hot, sexy mystic. And I said sexy twice. That's how true it is. You're a sexy mystic and people are like drawn to you. Oh boy, I feel like I've been talking too much. You could have like your social battery kind of runs out too. Because you have one, you definitely do. But it runs out a certain amount of time. Like when you be talking too much, you're kind of like, I just need some peace and quiet, my dude. Please, I just need some peace and quiet, okay? Let's get some cards from this deck here to end the reading. I kind of feel like people can talk with you or to you forever. I don't know why this camera, I'm about to start going Hulk out here, I tell y'all. Because I don't understand what the problem is. Like, stay your behind straight. Like, I feel like I'm about to Hulk out. Please. Ooh. Of course you fell. Okay, so the card that fell was Harvest Moon. Slow your heart. See? This is the exact same card that came in group 1 and I stuttered the same way. Or I messed up the same way. So slow your heart and move gently into the coming of self. So yeah, there is something here about you changing into someone. You going from someone who's more private to more out in the open. Going from someone who's more out in the open to someone who's more private. Switching and alternating between both. Knowing how to have a public presence but also knowing how to keep certain things private. That's sexy to somebody. And I feel like I was just like a preacher, you know what I mean? Okay, because my grandma would be watching these preachers on YouTube or whatever, and they'd be like, say it somebody, preach it somebody. And I'm like, be quiet. That's what I feel like saying, you know? So public speaking can be a thing for you as well. Or like I said, content creation or creating or singing, you know, expressing yourself is a big thing. You could definitely be someone who's like quirky, but private, or only quirky and private, you know, stuff like that is coming through. But there's something here about coming into yourself. You weren't always this comfortable being open, and it's something you kind of have to grow into. You know what I mean? You could have had like a very sheltered or private childhood, and you have been actively trying to kind of like outgrow that or outrun that the older you got, and now you kind of are the perfect mix of both. The inner you, younger you, Six of Cups, inner child, and then older, more experienced, sexy, confident you. And men love that duality, I feel like. Okay, and when it comes to you anyway. That's your sex appeal. You're innocent, but you're also sultry. And it drives them wild because they want, men want someone who they could be innocent with and girl next door with. Maybe you're good at like role play and stuff like that. Period. The kitty cat being like, they keep coming through for me. There's something here about, and it's a black kitty cat at that. So that could be something coming through. Your black kitty cat is very sexy to this person you're watching for, okay? Or just men in general, okay? There you go. I'm like, why do I keep coming back to this dang cat at the bottom of the screen, please? Yeah, let's hear about your black cat. Your eyes are coming through as well. Your hair, you're gonna have like a very full hair, thick hair. Another card that fell out was tobacco. Yeah, they can get drunk off you. You're giving Cleo Patron. Feed your ancestors. Raise the sacred smoke to them. They are hungry to connect. People are hungry to connect with you for sure. And this is also kind of giving ancestry, ancestral roots. People can feel your power. With the Queen of Wands, they feel your power. Okay, we have corn maze, and this came through in group 2. So yeah, we have people who are coming or watching all 3 groups, or you may have felt called group 1. What's really resonating? Group 2. What's really resonating? Group 3. Oh yeah, this is just right. Goldilocks and all that. So although your path is unclear, it is there waiting for your faith to lead you. So your path used to be unclear, now it isn't. Because I love how we have like a black butterfly coming through here, and we have like a white moth coming through here. Both represent transformation in some way, shape, or form. So that's coming through. You went through, maybe you had an ugly duckling phase, and then you turned to someone who's beautiful, and that could have led to the gossip. Some of you could have been promiscuous, who knows? And then some of you could have been the complete opposite of promiscuous. And now all of a sudden you are. And people are like, what? Or like I said before, you were like very quiet, wallflower. You didn't really pay anybody no attention. They didn't really date or anything. And now you're out as someone who's like, oh, is that the same girl you went to high school with? She looks so different. Those vibes coming through. But it's because you went on a journey of self-discovery, and that's also very sexy to your person if you're watching for a person or just men in general, okay? We have one more card that fell out. Let me get the card. And it says pumpkin spice and apple cider. So you represent home. You're very comfortable to be around. You're very cozy. So it says nothing is more nostalgic than the joy of belonging in your presence. Oh, that's so sweet. And then we have Six of Cups here. So you kind of bring them back to their child and make them feel safe is a vibe that's coming through as well. I'm hearing a song. It's been playing in my head for the past 3 minutes. And I'm like, no. And then I'm like, okay, let me see what the message is here. So the song that's coming through is Coffin by Jessie Reyes. Well, how does the song go? 'Cause you make me wanna jump off the roof, 'cause I love you to death, just like a fool. But that part's not coming through. It's the part with Eminem in it, where he's like, I don't even want to fight no more. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Love the way you like. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Like, he just starts, like, it's so good. That song is so freaking good. Like, it played for the first time in forever a few days ago, and I have not been able to stop listening to it because I just forgot how much I love the freaking song. But anyway, his part just goes off. And I love that he mentions Love the Way You Lie, because he did that song with Rihanna. But it's kind of like, it's just like the flow is so, it's so sick. It's so good. And you're like the sickest flow part of the song kind of energy coming through. It's your sex appeal. You're the best part of the song, best part of the movie, best part of their day. Because it says here, like, nothing is more nostalgic than the joy of belonging in your presence. So you're giving fall cozy weather. You're giving pumpkin spice and apple cider when things kind of get like dark and melancholy a little bit faster. And you're the one bright spot. People love fall and winter because of pumpkin spice and apple cider and leaves and all those kinds of traditions. So you could definitely be someone who's more traditional. But yeah, that's what's coming through for you guys. Oh, I keep stuttering. Please. How annoying. You could definitely be someone who smokes as well, because we have tobacco coming through. That could be something y'all do together, you know? Who, boy? You could also be someone who's like very brave, because the way that she's walking towards this scary house here, it's like, okay, are you trying to get snatched up or something? Maybe you like scary stuff. I don't know. But you definitely know when to be submissive. You know when to be dominant. And these men love that. They love a little mix of both. Okay? So that's what I have for you guys, honestly. I don't want to keep talking your ear off. And then look at how we have Beware coming through in the corn maze. There's something spooky and kind of like disclaim me about you, like a disclaimer. And they're kind of like, oh, but I still want more. You know, you're dangerous is the kind of vibe coming through. Dangerous to their heart, dangerous to their physical being, whatever the case may be, they consider you dangerous. Fragrant as well. You smell good. Pumpkin spice and apple cider are very fragrant. They consume. Cinnamon sticks are also coming through as well. Cinnamon sticks represents abundance and prosperity. Okay, I'm gonna leave you reading here. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hype the video if you can. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you want to book a reading, you could always do so using my email in the description box below. I am now also offering memberships to the channel if you're interested in that. You can find the link for that in the description box below, right above the timestamps. Every time it'll always be there. That is where you have more control over the readings I do. You can ask for specific readings, watch readings that are already there. Like, that's your space for me and y'all, okay? Our personal little oasis over there. So if you're interested, please join. The link, like I said, is in the description box above the timestamps. But I do hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye.